Well, moments ago, and after two assassination attempts on former President Trump, the acting director of the Secret Service admitting his agency failed in its key responsibilities, but promised to do better moving forward.
This was a failure on the part of the United States Secret Service. It's important that we hold ourselves accountable for the failures of July 13th, and that we use the lessons learned to make sure that we do not have another failure like this again.
The press conference coming shortly after the House unanimously passed a bill giving major presidential and vice presidential candidates the same level of protection as the sitting president and vice president. The bipartisan measure now goes to the Senate, and again, it all follows those two failed assassination attempts. The first happened back in July. It wounded the Republican nominee at an outdoor rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. A supporter was killed. Several other rallygoers were hurt. The second attempt, in which the suspect failed to get off a shot, happened just last Sunday at Trump's Palm Beach golf course. NewsNation correspondent Joe Khalil, live for us in Washington. Joe, you were at that press conference. We heard you asking questions, and we also got some new details on the agency's internal review of the first assassination attempt.
Yeah, we did. I thought a couple of really interesting things stood out to me. Number one, the acting director, Ronald Rowe, says they have now entered what he calls a paradigm shift at the agency, meaning there are strategic changes they've made. One being they have brought every person running for president or vice president up to the highest possible levels of protection that they can possibly have. So that means Donald Trump, that means Kamala Harris, that means Tim Walz, and that also means Senator J.D. Vance. So that was an interesting point there to take away. And then he went through some of the failures that the Secret Service made. Some we've heard before, others he elaborated in a way that we hadn't heard before. One example, we've heard about the failures of communication. He laid out, and we have bits of their report coming out that says the Secret Service and local police were on different radio frequencies, meaning when the Secret Service or when local police saw this shooter and radioed it in, the Secret Service agents around President Trump did not hear that. He says right away that was a failure. We've also learned what I think is new clarification, which is in the advance team, ahead of time, before they got there, the Secret Service tries to sit down and have an in-person briefing with all of the law enforcement, local law enforcement, that's going to help them on events. In the case of Butler, there were local law enforcement agencies that requested aid from other local law enforcement agencies. The Secret Service didn't know about it. So the Secret Service never reached out to those second agencies, and those were the people who were protecting the building where Thomas Crooks actually climbed up. So you've got a number of failures the Secret Service now saying they have learned from. The question that we asked is, moving forward, Acting Director Rowe has talked about shortcomings in terms of personnel. We need more guys, and we need them soon. So this is the question we asked based on that issue. Take a listen to what he told us. It's our understanding it takes anywhere from 4 to 10 years for an agent to go through the training that rises them up to a presidential detail level. You've described a manpower issue. Given that, do you think that training time frame might change so you can expedite getting more officers to a presidential detail should you need that?
So we're not going to drop standards, Joe. We have not dropped standards. You do need to develop those agents. Being on the Presidential Protective Division or the Vice Presidential Detail, it is a very, very high-pressure situation. It requires a lot of maturity. It requires decision-making, analytic skills, and the ability to problem solve. And it takes time to develop those skills.
Now, in this report, what we're also going to see is that there were multiple line of sight concerns, meaning they were raised concerns about the buildings that were immediately around where Donald Trump was going to be, ultimately where this shooter, this would-be assassin, climbed up. Those concerns were raised, but then nobody ever addressed them or fixed them. So people did see this location, and they did say, hey, that looks like an area that we may need to secure. For some reason, those concerns never were acted on. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, we visited Butler, we visited the site a couple of weeks after the shooting, and it is almost an immediate thing that you notice when you're standing where Donald Trump was standing, that there are those buildings that you would think would have to be secured. Ultimately, they were not from the roof. So again, all things that the Secret Service is now owning up to, saying they are learning from.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.